site of the Kozhikode plane crash, announces interim relief of 10 lakh rupees for kin of the deceased, 2 lakh rupees for serious injuries and 50,000 rupees for minor injuries. 2 black boxes found. At least 18 killed, including both pilots in the Kozhikode plane tragedy, 127 being treated among 190 on board. MOS External Affairs V. Muralidharan visits the accident site. DGCA Aircraft Accidents Investigation Bureau, Flight Safety Department and other Air India senior officials reached Calicut for investigation. 2 special flights arranged from Delhi and Mumbai for rendering humanitarian assistance to passengers. "22 dead bodies recovered from landslide site in Idukki district, 43 trapped under the debris. NDRF teams carry out relief and rescue operations despite incessant rains. Red alert in many districts across the state. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate Rashtriya Swachhta Kendra, an interactive experience center on the Swachh Bharat mission today. Kendra to impart information, awareness and education on Swachhta mission. Former Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir, Girish Chandra Murmu, takes oath as new Comptroller and Auditor General. President Ramnath Kovind administers oath of office to GC Murmu at Rashtrapati Bhavan. India's COVID-19 recovery rate continues to improve further, crosses 68.32% with over 14.27 lakh recoveries. Case fatality rate declines to 2.04%. Global COVID-19 cases reach 1 crore 95 lakh with 7 lakh 22,000 deaths. Hello and welcome to this edition of the news. I'm Rukmal. We begin the bulletin with our big story of the day, the Calicut plane crash. Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri visited the crash site of the Kozhikode plane crash today. He announced interim relief of 10 lakh rupees for the kin of the deceased, 2 lakh rupees for serious injuries and 50,000 rupees for minor ones. The 2 black boxes of the ill-fated plane have been found. Union Minister for Civil Aviation Hardeep Singh Puri also paid his condolences to the people who lost their lives. He said that the reasons for the accident are currently under investigation. And joining us now is our correspondent Sumit Sukumaran from Kozhikode, who tells us more about the latest developments there. Sumit, it's over to you about the latest updates on the tragedy that has shocked the entire country.
Rukma, the latest update that I can share from here now is that, as you can see in the background, I'm standing in front of Calicut Medical College, where the 18 bodies of the deceased are being kept, and the postmortem and inquest formalities are being clear, and the bodies are handing over to the kings, and it's underway too. And few minutes before, Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan and other, along with other ministers and the governor, had visited the hospital and also the airport where the accident occurred. And the current situation is like, as you all know, the city is in COVID pandemic, and the security forces are trying their level best to keep the COVID protocol, because initially there was some doubts regarding the people, like one of the dead person had a COVID infection, COVID positive infection. Later it cleared, and they are doing the inquest and the postmortem formalities right now.
Right, and what about the casualty count? As far as we know, 18 people have succumbed to their injuries, have died in that accident. What about the injured? What is their condition? How many have been hospitalized?
Around 100 people, around 129 people are still in hospitals, and according to the district collector's report, we came to know that around 22 people have been discharged from the hospitals today. After they found that they have only minor injuries, but around 100 people are still in the hospital. In that, around 16 people having severe injuries, and they are they are in critical stages, and we are yet to know their status right now.
Right. As far as investigations are concerned, what initial inputs do you have about, say, what eyewitnesses are telling you about what actually happened?
So, since the last 2 days, Kerala is witnessing massive rains, and this is what the initial report that we have collected from the airport authority. It's like the pilot before he touches down before he landed, he tried 2 attempts, and the runway was not visible, and he tried to land a flight, and it was beyond the landing point. That's how it happened. That's the initial reports, that the initial information that we are getting from the concerned people. Rukma.
Right. Thank you so much, Sunit, for joining us and for those inputs. So, tragedy yesterday as the Air India Express flight crashed in Kozhikode. 18 people, including 2 pilots, died in that crash. Many were injured when the Air India Express aircraft from Dubai crashed after overshooting the runway in Kozhikode. 190 passengers were on board. 127 injured are being treated in Malappuram and Kozhikode hospitals. 16 of them are critically injured. Speaking to DD News, Malappuram District Collector K. Gopalakrishnan said all the injured will undergo COVID tests.
We rescued all the people within 1 hour 30 minutes, and as of now the total casualty is 18 people, and remaining people are admitted in different hospitals, and in that 16 of them are serious and they are under observation. Remaining are stable. Some of them required surgery, and we have done that, and all of them are given high priority medical treatments. So we are taking care of them very well, so no other issues. They will be doing the COVID testing, and we will be start doing post-mortem as soon as possible. We have expert committees there, inspection report, we'll have a clarity on that.
And Minister of State for External Affairs V. Muralidharan visited the plane crash site. He told DD News that all the injured have been admitted to 13 hospitals in the state.
The details of the reasons for the crash, that is being investigated and inquired by the inquiry is being undertaken by the DGCA, and the Civil Aviation Minister is visiting the crash site. Once that is over, I think he will be in a position to tell something about that. Climate was a major impediment, and but in spite of that, we are fortunate that the fuel tank didn't go in flames. That's why a lot of lives were saved. Those who are injured are there in around 13 hospitals. I am given to understand that around 120 passengers are there in the hospitals.
And speaking to DD News, Secretary of Civil Aviation Pradeep Singh Kharola said that all special rescue teams have arrived by flights from Delhi and Mumbai and are providing humanitarian assistance at the spot. Let's listen in.
All our teams have reached there. The first team from the Airport Accident Investigation Bureau and the DGCA and Air India landed in the morning at about 5 o'clock. The second team from Bombay also has reached, and the third team from Air India has landed at 9 o'clock. The AAIB has started the investigations. They are on the spot, and they are cooperating with the local police also. They are in the process of collecting flight data recorder and the cockpit voice recorder. There are 3 flights which have already landed there, and we are keeping a close watch on the situation, and if more relief flights have to be mounted, Air India is in a position, they have kept the crew and the aircraft in readiness at different locations.
And officials of Aircraft Accidents Investigation Bureau, DGCA and Flight Safety Department have reached Kozhikode for investigating the accident. CMD Air India, CEO Air India Express, Chief of Operations Air India Express and Chief of Flight Safety Air India Express have also reached Calicut. Meanwhile, Air India Express has changed its color from red to black on its social media platform, mourning the death of its pilots in the tragedy. Air India Express has established passenger information centers and also issued a helpline number 1800-222271 for those calling in. The Ministry of External Affairs has also released a 24/7 helpline, a number of numbers. The numbers are telephone receiver 1800-118-797, 011-230-12113, 011-2301-4104, 011-230-17905. The fax number 011-230-18158. And you can mail in to covid19@mea.gov.in. The Indian consulates in Dubai and Sharjah have activated 5 helpline numbers to provide information to family members of the flight that skidded off the runway at Karipur Airport in Kerala. The helpline numbers are 97156 5463 903, 97154 309 0572, 97154 309 0571, 97154 309 0575. President, Vice President and Prime Minister have expressed their grief over the plane crash. The President extended prayers for the affected passengers, crew members and their families. President Kovind spoke to Kerala Governor to inquire about the situation. The Vice President extended heartfelt condolences to the families of those who lost their dear ones in the crash. Prime Minister Modi spoke to the Chief Minister of Kerala. He said authorities are at the spot providing all assistance to the affected. And meanwhile, Kerala continues to face widespread damage due to heavy rains across the state. 22 people were killed, 12 were injured and around 43 are missing after a landslide was triggered by heavy rains in Idukki on Friday. NDRF teams are engaged in rescue and relief work. The Met Department has predicted heavy rainfall till Sunday. Meanwhile, red alert has also been issued for Idukki, Thrissur, Palakkad and Wayanad district. Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan has said that all necessary arrangements are being made and the state is fully prepared to face any situation. Control rooms are being opened at the district level. Fishermen have been warned about venturing into the sea in the coast as well as along the Lakshadweep coast. And in latest development in the Sushant Singh Rajput death case, defense advocate of Rhea Chakraborty today released handwritten letters and a photo of an article claiming them to be the only belongings of Sushant Singh Rajput still with Rhea Chakraborty at present. Rhea's defense advocate released the letter and photo of an article after ED's hours-long questioning. The ED has also reportedly sought her income tax details. Sushant's friend Siddharth Pithani has been asked to appear in front of the ED today. Further in the case, Rhea's father Indrajit Chakraborty and Shovik Chakraborty are expected to record their statements with the ED as they have been summoned by the agency for questioning on Monday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the Rashtriya Swachhta Kendra today. The Kendra is an interactive experience center on the Swachh Bharat mission. The Rashtriya Swachhta Kendra (RSK) was first announced by Prime Minister Modi on the 10th of April 2017 on the occasion of the centenary celebrations of Gandhiji's Champaran Satyagraha. The installations at RSK will introduce future generations to the successful journey of the world's largest behavioral change campaign, the Swachh Bharat mission. A balanced mix of digital and outdoor installations in the RSK will impart information, awareness and education on Swachhta and related aspects. After taking a tour of the RSK, Prime Minister will interact with 36 school students from Delhi, representing the 36 states and union territories at the amphitheatre, adhering to social distancing protocols. This will be followed by Prime Minister's address to the nation. Former Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Girish Chandra Murmu took oath today as the Comptroller and Auditor General of India. President Ramnath Kovind administered the oath of office to Murmu in Rashtrapati Bhavan. Later in the day, Girish Chandra Murmu took charge as Comptroller and Auditor General of India. He succeeds Rajiv Mehrishi, who completed his term on the 7th of August. The CAG is appointed for a term of 6 years or till the incumbent attains the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier. GC Murmu will have a tenure up to 20th November 2024. India continues on the path of COVID-19 management boosted by two significant achievements: continuously rising recovery rates among patients and case fatality rate that has remained much below the global average. While recovery rate is at a record high of 68.32%, fatality rate has touched a new low of 2.04%. Total recoveries have jumped to 14,27,005 with a recovery of 48,900 patients in the last 24 hours. Amid rising cases of coronavirus in Uttar Pradesh, UP CM Yogi Adityanath today inaugurated new COVID-19 hospital in Noida. The hospital, which has a capacity of 400 beds and will be the largest state-run COVID facility in the state. Earlier on Thursday, the CM presided over a high-level unlock review meeting at his residence and directed officials to pay attention to the improvement of treatment and control of COVID-19 in the districts of Kanpur Nagar, Jhansi, Varanasi, Gorakhpur and Prayagraj. And inspired by Prime Minister's clarion call for vocal for handmade, Bhagalpuri Tussar silk weavers are reaping huge benefits. Tussar silk in Bhagalpur is known for its quality. The handloom skill of the silk city's weavers is unmatched. Handloom weavers here have also maintained their standards in the overseas market. The handloom industry in Bhagalpur makes around 2 million meters of silk per annum with a turnover of around 100 crores annually. However, trade this year has decreased due to the coronavirus-related measures, while traders are hopeful and working hard as handloom and power loom units have resumed operations. In Bihar, the flood situation remains critical as 16 districts have been severely affected. More than 71 lakh people were affected in more than 1100 panchayats. Sitamarhi, Darbhanga, Muzaffarpur, East and West Champaran districts are worst affected. The river Bagmati, Gandak, Buri Gandak and Bagmati are still flowing much above the danger mark. Medical teams along with anti-rabies kits and snake bite serum have been deputed in flood-affected areas to provide medical aid to those affected. 6 relief camps are being run in Khagaria and Samastipur districts. A total of 33 teams of NDRF and SDRF teams have been deployed for relief and rescue operations. The Met Department has predicted light to moderate rains in catchment areas of the state for the next 24 hours. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar visited flood-affected areas of West Champaran on Friday. The Chief Minister also had a meeting with officials and took stock of relief work being done in flood-affected areas. Meanwhile, in Assam, flood waters continue to recede, improving the situation considerably. People are returning home. The lives started returning back to normal as the number of districts affected by floods stands at 6 out of 33. However, the administration is working hard to resettle the flood affected whose homes may have been damaged or washed away by flood waters and erosion. Most homes are full of mud with the flood waters receding, while drinking water is a big issue as lives return to normal. Flood waters have sunk existing tube wells and the water has become smelly, making it undrinkable. During this time, the SDRF, NDRF along with civil bodies are focusing on distributing every possible relief material, which includes sanitizers, phenyl, bleaching powder as the water dries, leaving behind mud and dirt. As per the ASDMA reports, the Brahmaputra River is flowing above the danger level at Nibati Ghat in Jorhat, while the number of affected districts which are still underwater include Dhemaji, Baksa, Chirang, Kokrajhar, Kamrup and Moregaon. The present population affected by floods is less than 13,000, while 201 inmates are still taking shelter in 2 relief camps. And on the occasion of Independence Day, a film festival is being organized on DD National and DD Bharati from 7th to the 15th of August. During this festival, many feature films that awaken the spirit of patriotism will be screened.
वो आसमान देख रहे होंगे और हम उनके पांव तले से जमीन खींच लेंगे।
पांचों लड़कियों से ज्यादा वो स्लीपर सेल्स का हेड इम्पोर्टेंट है।
National Broadcaster Doordarshan and DD Bharati channel of Doordarshan are organizing a film festival on the occasion of Independence Day. The festival will continue from August 7 to August 15. The films shown under this film festival will depict the heroic story of freedom fighters. These films depicting the bravery of freedom fighters and awakening patriotic sentiment among Indians across the world include films like Holiday a Soldier is Never Off Duty.
अगर तेरे घर से कोई किडनैप हो जाए तो 5 लड़कियों में एक लड़की मेरी बहन है, समझे?
Mangal Pandey,
अत्यधिक सुंदरता के कारण सीता का हरण हुआ, अत्यंत घमंड के कारण रावण का अंत हुआ।
हम न देखेंगे कल की बहारें तो क्या तुमको तो वो बहारें दिखा जाएंगे।
पिछले हफ्ते ही हमारे 4 अफसरों को मुस्लिम इलाके से बुरी तरह से मारपीट कर भगा दिया गया।
सरदार,
इस तरह से भेदभाव को बढ़ावा देना हमारी सुरक्षा नीति के खिलाफ है।
तुम हिंदुस्तान की आंख और कान बन के पाकिस्तान में रहो।
and Razi.
तुम्हारा रिश्ता पाकिस्तान में क्यों हुआ ये सिर्फ हम जानते हैं सर।
साल पहले गुजरात के दंगों में मेरा भाई मुन्ना।
Apart from Hindi, the festival also includes films in various other Indian languages. So, all of you must also enjoy these films full of patriotism.
भाई जवेर भाई पटेल, आपको किसी खास मुद्दे के बारे में बात करनी है?
Jyotika Grover, DD India.
मैं इस मेमोरेंडम के बारे में बात करना चाहूंगा।
And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the news. News and updates continue on DD News and DD India. Coming up next, Doctors Speak. Stay tuned. Namaskar.